Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ.
Blast off.
Blast off.
Blast off.
Blasting rope.
Well, here we are. We're back. We're back. We were adjacent to live.
Again.
Yeah.
We're not recording on the same day.
Slightly change our appearance to the last episode.
They're not meant to notice.
Oh, dearie.
It's strategic.
Okay.
So you're like Ricky. Hang on, because you're like Ricky Gervais, and you just wear a black T-shirt all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I have to switch it up. So
I see. Now I feel like I need to do something different next time.
no, you do you.
Stay tuned.
You absolutely do you. Like, well, I was going to put on a plaster I've got cut on my finger. So, of all places to cut myself shaving, my finger was not on the list.
Okay, we need to know how that happened.
I assume just from changing the razor blade, I think. Because I have a safety razor. I don't use these stupid, multi-bladed, springy bullshit. I have a proper safety razor. Yeah, I think just through the process of changing, I think I cut myself. But anyway, so I was going to put a plaster on it, and I was like, but then I'd have to turn into like Keith Lemon and just have it on there all the time, whether I've got a cut there or not. Because he has that wrist brace on all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In a multitude of colours.
Yeah.
So
an irritant.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Anyway, hey CJ.
Hey Ted.
Who's the biggest mother in the world?
I don't know.
Maximum.
Maximum. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it Maxi Mum or Max A Mum?
Maximum.
Maxi Mum.
Maximum.
Okay. Yeah.
Maximum.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the bar.
Yeah. It's very low.
Okay. Well, what have you got for me that's better than that?
What, as in jokes?
Should I tell you? No, hang on. Should we kick off with something lengthy and to do with relationships?
I wonder where you were going with that. I was getting ready to hit the giggity button.
Giggity.
I did it anyway.
Yeah.
Because why not? Yes, let's kick off with something lengthy that's going to soak up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Where I don't need to say much.
Okay, so I was on Reddit.
Yep.
Looking and seeing what's about. Okay. I saw this and I thought, that's bloody long.
That's what she said.
What's going on here? This is hang on. This is relationship problems. Okay. But in some way, I think it could be, am I the arsehole? And I'm wondering if the writer is. But anyway, let's have a look. So it's, am I being I have not got the talking.
I'm going to say, cut. Try that again. Take 3.
Am I being realistic, or should I move on? Okay. Hi, y'all.
Hey there, y'all.
Hi, y'all. Hoping to get some perspectives here, mainly guys, because I'm trying to understand and because I'm not sure if I'm being unreasonable or if my experience is common. I, 25F, or F25, and my partner, M30, have been together for 4 years. In the beginning, everything was great. Felt like the stars aligned. We connected instantly, had a long honeymoon phase, over a year, and were just so into each other. Things started changing around 2.5 years in. The first big argument was about him not helping around the place, setting the table, cleaning, dishes, etc. I told him I couldn't be with somebody who didn't pull his weight and was comfortable being such a slob, especially since he talked about us moving in together. At first, he got offended, but eventually he did make more of an effort. So they're all into each other, and then things started changing when she started an argument. Moving on. But over time, I started noticing a big effort imbalance. At the start, we would both surprise each other with little things: coffee, dinners, trying new places, and trying to have new experiences together. Later, I realized I was the only one still doing it. I was a full-time student working 2 part-time jobs, and he worked long hours too. I still made the effort and the time to plan dates, spend time thinking of the perfect, meaningful gifts, and come up with ways to spend quality time. Meanwhile, he would often blame it on being just too tired or too busy. Some examples: I planned all of our birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays. If I didn't, nothing would happen. I surprised him with gifts, little notes, flowers, and even big gestures like decorating his car for his birthday. He just gave me a quick thanks to say he liked it and moved on. Okay, well, I just want to pull up on a couple of things here. One is planning birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays. Whilst I get that obviously he could, get an anniversary gift or something like that, there's always going to be somebody who likes that kind of stuff more than others. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
And as she is the woman, she's more likely to be into birthdays. She's more likely to know when the birthdays are. Now, I was having a conversation the other day, and I was explaining that outside of about 3 people, 3 or 4 people, of which 2 of them are related to me, and 1 person who has a very specific date for their birthday, I know no other birthdays at all. And the only way I would know if it's somebody's birthday, who is not necessarily a friend, but certainly adjacent, is if it popped up on Facebook. Even then, I wouldn't probably be on Facebook to know it.
So there was a time when it wasn't officially your birthday until somebody said happy birthday on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
That is dumb.
Now, I'm not a big birthday person.
Me neither.
And exactly. And I think what we have is what we share is both being chaps. Now, get in the chat, get in the comments, and let us know if I'm wrong. But I don't think birthdays are that as important to men as they are to women. And I'm slightly chilled by this idea of her making a big gesture like decorating his car for his birthday. I feel like I need to know more about this. In what way was it decorated? Was it decorated on the inside, on the outside? What the hell did she do to his car?
Yeah, I mean, immediately I was just like, don't touch my car.
Yeah.
don't do anything to my car.
Yeah.
Please. Now,
and I think a simple thanks is probably the best result she could have got from that.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I've had a couple of thoughts myself, and yeah, I'm not as into birthdays as some other people. I think what I've been trying to do over recent years is try and be more in the game for other people's birthdays. You know,
Mhm.
especially if I know that they really like their birthday or something. I'd just be like, I'll always send them a happy birthday, or depending how close I am to them, maybe try and get them a gift, or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm still not all over it, and I do also employ the use of my calendar to remind me of people's birthdays. There are some people who I just know. Like I know when your birthday is. I know when a number of my close friends. I know when their birthdays are, but other people who I'm maybe not as close to, but they're still friends. I've got their dates in my calendar, and it will be when I get the reminder a week before, I'll kind of assess the closeness of that relationship to decide what I'm going to do, if anything. More often than not, I do nothing, but the thought's there, and you know what they say, it's the thought that counts.
But they tend to have more people around them that they have birthdays for. I mean, whereas men, I mean, I don't know about you, but like I've got like 3 friends.
Yeah, my circle of friends is very small.
At least 20 years ago, and that's it. That'll do. Yeah.
But as for the saying thanks for decorating the car, I mean, I don't know. I want to know what she's expecting. It's like,
yeah,
cool, thanks, appreciate that, and then that's it. We're just going to move on. Unless you're expecting, a mariachi band or something to, come along and sing thank you to you. I'm not sure what else we can do. Okay, you've done something for my birthday. Am I now supposed to thank you by taking you for dinner on my birthday? Is that what we're going for? I just don't know. It's the honest answer, so I'm not sure where we're supposed to go with that.
Yeah. So that makes me wonder whether her expectations are a little higher than they should be. Moving on. He rarely planned dates or tried new activities with me. Saturdays, he'd be up and at wrestling practice from 9 till 12, then worked out more at home. So realistically, he wouldn't be ready until around 4 or 5 p.m. And I mean, this was every Saturday, like it was a routine and rarely moved around it. Okay. If I suggested things like a farmer's market or morning hike, going to the gym together, he never made the effort. Well, I've got something to say about this. He's got a hobby. And if he's doing wrestling practice, I'm not a wrestling expert, but what I do know is it's not possible to wrestle yourself. Well, I mean, depends what you call wrestling, but he
So I wrestle myself all the time.
Yeah, which leads me to think that perhaps if he's doing wrestling practice, he's probably doing it with somebody else, and this is something that he does as a matter of routine, and she wants to get him to break off his plans with the person or people he does wrestling practice with, so that he can be dragged around a farmer's market or something else or anything else, just to basically not allow him to do what he wants to do. She says, we'd get intimate only 2 or 3 times a month. Communication also dropped off. He'd text me in the morning, then I often wouldn't hear from him until late evening. I felt like I was waiting all day just to hear from him. Because they don't live together, presumably, at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, it's expectations, isn't it? It's not even as though he's not texting her. He texts me in the morning, and then I feel like I spend the whole day waiting for him to contact me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it sounds like you've got too much time on your hands, and that's all you're thinking about.
Yep.
What hurt the most was feeling like he didn't prioritize me. For example, I asked him for years to take me dancing or clubbing at least one time in a while. I love to dance, but he never did. After about 4 years of asking him to go, it wasn't just because of me. It was because after about 4 years of asking him to go, it wasn't because of me. It was for his friend's birthday, fair enough, I got really annoyed that when I asked every time for him to accompany me, there was an excuse. But for his friend, he was able to rearrange his. Oh, I've got it. Right, that's really poorly written. But basically, the only time he went out was when it was his friend's birthday or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when it's just for her, he won't bother.
Yep.
Okay, that's a bit crap. But there we go. Over the last year, especially, I felt like I was more single than in a relationship. I wanted the kind of effort I gave, not consistently, but at least sometimes. A thoughtful note, flowers, just because. Planning a date where all I had to do was show up, or dressing up for once in a while. When I get dressed up, I'd like something more than pretty. Never called me beautiful. I don't know what's wrong with being pretty. What do you think about that? Not that I'm suggesting you might ever be called pretty or beautiful.
Well, it's never going to happen in my lifetime. I know that much.
No. But would you call somebody pretty, or call them beautiful, or would you think that pretty is as good as beautiful, if not better?
I mean, I've deployed both. Sometimes in the same sentence.
Mm-hmm. How does that work? You're pretty beautiful.
Well, you just go, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you look lovely.
Okay.
There's no full stops in there. There's commas, but there's no full stops in that. It's a sentence. Because grammar, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He never took pictures of me / us, but I was always taking pictures of him us. I don't think he started opening the car door for me until around 3.5 years in.
I mean, it's 2025, dude. That shit doesn't really work anymore. So many people just don't want that. It's like pulling a chair out for a woman when they sit down at a table. I'm not saying chivalry is dead, but not everybody wants that. And if it's something you want, you need to communicate that.
But also, why would he start doing it 3.5 years in?
Exactly.
If I was guessing, and I don't know this, but if I was guessing, I would say that she's been honest him about opening the car door for her.
Well, if you continue reading the sentence, it actually explains why.
Oh, okay.
Just reading your head there.
No, just let me make assumptions.
Sorry, no, you make an ass of you and me. Yep. So.
Again, only because I asked him to and said I'd appreciate it if he did that. Well, there you go. That was right.
Yeah.
I even made an effort to learn his language and asked him if he can at least make a small effort to start learning mine. I don't think she means actually language, does she? Does she?
I mean,
this would explain some of the issues that they've got if they can't even speak each other's language.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a serious communication breakdown because of a language barrier, I mean, I'm going to make a wild assumption at this point that this person, is a native English speaker, and they're, and the boyfriend is not a native English speaker, so probably struggles to understand / communicate himself. So she's made the effort to learn his language, and now she wants him to be able to speak English more fluently. That's my wild assumption out of it. Like, I'm without any kind of context or other information being presented at that particular moment.
Yeah, unless she means language in some sort of airy-fairy.
Also, unless she's talking love language, which, my love language is telling you to leave me the hell alone so I can watch TV. Put food in front of me, and yeah,
your love language is bacon.
It really is.
Yeah,
it's the old saying, isn't it? The fastest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I mean, kind of true for me.
Yeah,
If you're a feeder, I'm there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I do you know what I'm interested in is what the final straw was. Anyway, the final straw was realizing that if he couldn't show up for me now, how would he show up in a marriage? Or when kids are involved? I expressed that I don't want to be in a marriage like our parents, where our mums have to buy themselves flowers on Mother's Day, or have to hold on attending concerts or going out to a fancy, or have to hold out on attending concerts or going out to fancy dinners because their husbands don't feel like it or say they have too much work. I also said that I would want the father of my kids to be involved in their lives and make time for them. But how can I expect that? How can I expect that for him if he's not even doing that for me? I encouraged him to find a better work-life balance, but he'd just say, "Yeah, I know," and things wouldn't really change. I felt like life was passing us by, and I was the only one trying to make it meaningful. Do you know what? I think there's a big difference between buying flowers on a regular enough occasion and opening car doors and knowing the difference between beautiful and pretty than actually taking responsibility for a child. I think it's a bit insulting to suggest that just because you're not exactly what I want you to be at all times, that you're somehow going to be standoffish with your own child.
Yeah, I get that. But I also see her side of it as well, which is, you know, if you're not attentive or you're just only in it for yourself, what's going to change if a child comes along?
That's true.
It's like when people say, you know, oh, having a kid will fix your relationship. It really won't, you know, if you're not, you know, committed to it. But the other side of it is ultimately you just don't know until a child is in the mix.
Yeah.
You just don't know. And it's like people have asked me whether I want kids or not, and I'm like, well, really not. You know, I really don't. You know, because I feel like they wouldn't get the attention they need from me. I'd get really annoyed because I hate loud noises, and screaming kids is one of my triggers that makes me just want to put headphones on and zone out because I don't want to hear it. You know, but if I had a child of my own, I don't actually know what I would be like. You know, I would like to think that I would be able to step up and do what I have to do as a parent, but I can't guarantee that because of how I feel right now. But there's not, like I say, there's nothing until I'm actually there and in that position. I can't tell you what I'm going to be like.
Yeah,
and the same applies here. You know, you won't know what that guy's going to be like until a child is actually there in the mix. But at the same time, I understand the risk of if nothing changes, I'm going to be, you know, left looking after his child, you know, or child, and he does nothing and I do everything, and I don't want that, you know, kind of deal. So I see it both ways.
Okay, but here's the flip side of this, though. She's saying, well, if he's like this now, what's he going to be like if we have a child? Well, hang on a minute. If her most important thing is decorating cars, going out dancing, and you know, going out for dinner and things like that, that isn't necessarily you know, fitting in with you know, devoting yourself to being you know, a good mother. It's the same thing. I would imagine that she's thinking, well, hang on, if we have a child, is he still going to be going wrestling every damn Saturday morning? In the same way that somebody else might think, well, hang on, she likes going out dancing. Is she going to be out dancing every weekend if she's got a child? The answer is probably no, but it's the same kind of thing, isn't it? People are different when they've got children because they've got different responsibilities, and perhaps she needs to appreciate that, you know, people will do different things when they're in that situation.
Yeah.
She goes on, I feel like I'm the one constantly carrying the bigger effort load. I know relationships aren't supposed to be 50-50 at all the time, but it's been like this for a while now. It's tiring, where even my guy/girlfriends joke, saying that I'm the boyfriend and the girlfriend. I won't accept his excuse that he's not good at relationships, in inverted commas, because during the first 2 years, the effort, care, and thoughtfulness was there. So here's my question for the guys here.
Oh my God, there's a question?
Oh yeah, there's a question. Here we go. Get ready for the question. Is this kind of withdrawal / low effort normal in a long-term relationships? Long-term relationships, do men just naturally settle in and stop doing the little things? I'll be honest and say maybe this is where my unrealistic expectations come from. But I kind of thought when a guy loves his girlfriend, these things come kind of natural because you have this want to do it for them and make them feel special. I understand maybe lack of relationship experience may play a part, but with the right person, it sort of clicks in a sense, or they bring this loving behavior out of you. I brought this up to him multiple times, bet you have, about every 3 to 6 months for about 2 years. But recently, since this February and that his friend's birthday party, I started to think I need to move on, since when he does change, it only lasts for 2 weeks and back to the same cycle. If your partner's voiced concerns like this, what would Yol /did Yol do to improve?
Stop saying y'all. That's
the
first thing I did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just kidding. What was that? I'd also appreciate any perspective on whether I was asking for too much. Am I being unrealistic in wanting these certain actions, efforts, or is it fair to expect some yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. All of that.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that last word properly. There is always a settling in period. I think everybody in a relationship would agree with that. Or there's the honeymoon period, and then you settle in.
Mm.
But at the same time, I don't know. I can only go by what I think is correct. In that, okay, things may not be 50-50 all the time, but you put in that effort to make it as easy, or for me, like I say, you try and put in the effort to make it as easy as possible for your partner as you can. Sometimes that means you put in more, sometimes they put in more because that's just what they want to do as well, and you end up in with a balance. I think based on the whole, he never really does anything for me, but he doesn't want to go out dancing or do anything for me, but as soon as his friend wants to do it, he's all in for it. I mean, that's a signal that he just doesn't respect you or what you want to do. Or it's a signal that because his friends don't do that very often, when he gets the opportunity to go out with his friends, he then takes that opportunity rather than going whenever it is that you want. But again, without really a lot of context around how often she wants to do it, it's a bit more difficult to kind of pin down. I think she's being unrealistic. No, sorry, I don't think she should have to just move past it. I think if there's genuinely things that she wants to do, she needs to be more, keep communicating to try and get things to change to what she wants, but also have a bit of understanding that maybe he doesn't want to do all that kind of stuff. Like I say, it goes both ways. Anyone can ask me to do anything, but if it's something I really don't want to do, I'm going to tell you I really don't want to do it. I don't know. That one's tough. I don't think she's being an arsehole. Particularly, it sounds like she's tried communicating and he's just not listening. At least that's how it's been written.
Which, of course, it would be because it's written from her side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it always is, isn't it? It's how they're perceiving it, but then we don't get to see the other side of it to really understand it. But I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, it sounds like she's just unhappy and should probably leave. It sounds like they haven't moved in together, so you're not losing anything there.
Well, you say that, but they're still lost. I mean, it's still been quite a few years.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, it's been 4 years or so.
Well, I would say that as far as her expectations are concerned, maybe her expectations are a little bit higher than they should be. She talks about the honeymoon period, and yes, the honeymoon period is not going to last forever. But maybe she should look at actually what the positives are. Yes, he does have a hobby. Yes, he goes out. Obviously, he's keeping himself fit and active. Is he working? Yes, of course he's working. In fact, he's working so much that he, claims he's too tired to do a lot of the, the other things, or going out in the evening, or that sort of thing. And also she's clearly managed to train him to open doors for her. So I think maybe she's at risk of being a little bit of a princess, and there is an age gap. I think it's only 5 years. I can't remember. I don't want to move the thing now. It's only 5 years, but he's 30, he's cracking on with things. He's working full time. Yes, she's working part time, with a couple of jobs. But when they met, she was a student, so it's kind of a bit of a different, maybe a different sort of ethic. And maybe she just needs to come to realize that. And maybe she needs to perhaps do a bit more, for herself. If he's got a hobby every Saturday morning, maybe she should, look at what she could be doing to fill that time. What concerns me more, I couldn't give a toss, but no, I'm joking. But what concerned me more is the fact that maybe a lot of this is playing out in her head a lot, and she's kind of not necessarily in the right place. Maybe she's found a good guy, but he's got, he has got things going on. And he thinks that, I think pretty's a very, I think calling somebody pretty is a very nice thing. In fact, if anything, pretty makes you sound not only attractive, but also pretty's kind of, I feel like pretty makes you, like, sound younger than beautiful.
Maybe, yeah. I could see that.
Also, you could say, "Oh, that's a beautiful-looking horse," but I wouldn't say it was a pretty horse. That would make me sound a bit weird.
I've heard people call horses pretty before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've gone with a classic. Am I the arsehole?
Oh, okay.
For today's show. Yeah, well, I haven't done an Am I the Arsehole for a little while, so
hey, go for it.
I thought we'd do an Am I the Arsehole. So and it's not actually even showing on the screen yet again. So let me fix that.
That's okay. We can retake that.
No, we're not doing takes. This is a live stream. We don't do takes on live streams. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. And that's not even showing. What the fuck? Technology, everybody. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I found an Am I the Arsehole? I haven't read it, so we're going to find out together what this one's all about. Am I the Arsehole?
Reddit.
There you
Did
see.
you find it on Reddit?
I found it on Reddit, but I haven't read it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So, my son receives $1,100 a month in Social Security survivor benefits from his late father, who passed away when my son was 5. Or when my son was 5. I was like, okay, yeah. My boyfriend and I have been in an on-again, off-again relationship for a long time. Things have been good recently, and he's proposed. We're planning on getting a house together. I have my son, and he has 3 children, but only one of his kids would be living with us full time. The house we're looking at is $2,500 a month. My boyfriend's proposed a budget, which is for him to pay $950, me to pay $950, and for us to use $600 of my son's check for the household. He suggests that we can then put the remaining $500 from the check into savings. My current practice is to give my son half of his check for his personal use and save the other half for him. I think that since he's almost 17, he should have some control over his money. My boyfriend disagrees completely. He thinks that since we are going to be a family, all of the money should be pulled together for shared expenses. He thinks I'm wrong and selfish for not wanting to include the survivor benefits into the main budget. We've been going back and forth on this, and I'm feeling incredibly uncomfortable with his expectation. I feel like the benefits are my son's and should not be used to reduce the adult's portion of the bills. I feel like he's trying to make me subsidize the household by using money that was meant for my son's care and future, not to pay his own share of the bills. Am I wrong here? Is it selfish to keep my son's check separate and manage it for his benefit alone? Or is my boyfriend's financial expectation a red flag for our future together? Discuss.
Well, I think, and this is am I the arsehole?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no.
I agree.
No, she's definitely not the arsehole.
I agree.
Yeah, I can see the benefits of pulling resources together.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is that particular resource does not belong to him, and it doesn't belong to her either.
Correct.
That is for her son.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with him. It is obviously administered by her until a point at which it isn't, which may well be in only a year's time if he's 17. Yep. I would assume.
Yep.
So no, no, I don't think it should be included. I don't think she's the arsehole, and I think he's just trying to reduce his outgoings by getting it put into there.
Yep, I completely agree. No, I completely agree with that. That's not his money to use. Now, if the 17-year-old son offered some money,
mm-hmm.
Then sure, you go, okay, well, we'll take that, but you should never, even if I was in that situation, and then even if the son offered that money, I'd either refuse or say, sure, no problem, but actually wouldn't be using it. I'd be putting it away for them. I'd be like, we'll still cover all of the bills, because at the end of the day, you're still a child, you're still in school. One would hope that, if you're 17 years old, in a year's time, you're going to be going off to university, or similar, at which point I'd be like, fine, if you want to offer $500-600 out of your check to help cover the bills, that's cool. But actually, all I'm going to do is put it away.
Yeah.
But when you
How
do,
much is the check?
$1,100.
Right.
So he's asking for over half of that check to be put toward bills. That guy's an arsehole. Yeah. And if I was in this lady's position, I'd be throwing him out. I'd be like, no, get out. Not playing that game. No, okay, you proposed to me. I said I'd marry you, but actually, no, this, and right at the end, is this a red flag? Yeah, 100%. He's either spending his money like a coked-up rock star, or wants to spend his money like a coked-up rock star, is just trying to subsidize his own wages, so he doesn't have to spend as much. There's something else going on there. I feel like any reasonable person would be like, oh, you're getting the benefits check. Cool. Well, that's your money. If you want us to hang on to it, that's completely fine, but we're not spending it on the bills.
Yeah.
That's just my duty as a parent, is to pay your bills. Obviously if you start doing stupid stuff like, burning through electricity because you've got a massive gaming rig and you're actually, soaking up a quarter of the electricity bill every month, then I might ask for a contribution, but not more than half of the check. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, this is it. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, he's 17, so a child, so therefore I'll take control of the money and give him what I think is sensible.
Yep.
And then at the same time saying, well, he's nearly an adult, so he ought to be contributing to the household. No, that is what the household is, and if the boyfriend wasn't there, the household would exist without him. So, he's just got to, shut up, basically.
Yeah,
it's not his money. It belongs to the son, who is a child. Make a decision whether somebody's a child or not. And it's like if you're, is somebody old enough to, because I mean, like here in the UK, we've got so many different ages for so many different things.
Yep.
So like the next thing is what does so the government are talking about? Oh, we want 16-year-olds to be able to vote.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so 16-year-olds, we want you to we trust you with voting, but we don't trust you with buying a vape.
Mm-hmm.
We don't trust you with drinking beer, but we do trust you with the voting, and therefore deciding how much juicy should be put onto a pint of beer.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense.
Well, that's it. 'Cause at the moment, it's 16. You're illegal in the UK. 16. You are an adult.
Yeah.
You're no longer a minor when you're 16. But you can't learn to drive until you're 17 unless you're disabled. When you can learn at 16.
Mhm.
But it's 17 to drive, 18 to drink, vote, and gamble.
Yeah.
And it's like, and 16 is also the age of consent over here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, let's say you're a political party and you want to attract a voter in your area, and they're 16 or 17, or no, if they're 16, you wouldn't be able to send them a message because that would be considered to be a safeguarding issue.
Yep.
So what the hell? You need to have one age and just go with it for absolutely everything. Somebody's an adult, somebody's not an adult.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, sorry. 18 is legal adult, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So I said 16 before. 18 is legal adult, but 16 is the age of consent.
Yeah.
17 to drive. 18 legal adult where you can drink, smoke, vote, gamble.
Yeah.
But again, it's just as weird in America, though. It's you can learn to drive at 14, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You got the age of consent is 18, and you can what is it? What else is 18? Age of consent is 18, but then you can't drink, smoke, gamble is 21 over there. And I'm sure there's more to it and more nuance.
Yeah,
some of it's going to be state specific, but
yeah,
it's very different from what we have over here. But again, it's that even just the bits between the age of consent and legally being an adult, why are they different? Someone's old enough to consent to sex, but you're still not allowed to vote. That makes no sense to me at all. But back to this bit, it was that. So my parents, I don't know how your parents did it, but my parents were very much like, you're in school, you're learning, we've got everything covered. At the point you get a job, you start paying rent.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I wasn't receiving a benefits check from everybody, and I don't know exactly how they would have reacted if I did have some kind of, benefits coming through. But I don't expect for a second they'd have asked me to give them more than half of it. I would expect. So, when I first started paying rent, it was £50 a week, which, 20 years ago was reasonable. Now, I don't know what they would do with 50 quid a week. You can't, there's not really enough to spend that on. But they asked for £50 a week when I started working. So actually, maybe if I was receiving some kind of benefit, maybe they would have asked for the same 50 quid a week. And you're like, you know what, that's fine. Because out of that month, that's £200 to £250. That's less than a quarter of my benefits check if it's 1,100. But and again, it was that as soon as you start, even after after I turned 16, if I didn't have a job, they weren't demanding rent out of me. It was only the point I took my first job, they wanted rent. Then if I happened to be out of work for whatever the reason, redundancy or whatever, they still wanted the rent money because that's how life works, But it was never a, give us all your money just because you're now earning money. It was no, this is a reasonable amount for the cost of you living here. This is what we want. The rest of it we've got covered. We cover cover the mortgage, we cover the gas, electric, and all of that stuff. The cost of your contribution to that, including the food as well, is £50 a week. Okay, fine, reasonable.
And does this check last into adulthood, or is it just until he's 18?
Great question. I mean, survivor's benefits checks. I don't know. I don't even know what a survivor benefit check is.
No.
I would guess it's something
for dependents, and
Yeah.
you know, if it's something for dependents, and it might only last until he's 18 or 21, so perhaps, you know, that's limited as well, and just trying to take that benefit away from essentially a child just doesn't seem right to me, and yeah. So
it sounds to me like this dude is just seeing a cash cow and going, yeah, I'll have some of that. You know, if he can have free money, I can have free money. That I think that's exactly what he's looking at. As he's going, I want some of that free money. But yeah, I think maybe survivor benefits is like you say, it's for dependents when a parent has passed away. What would have been child support at that point? I think that we get that over here, or a version of here in the UK. I'm pretty sure my mum got but again, it went to my mum. It didn't go to me or my brothers. I think my mum got something after my dad passed away, but I can't guarantee that. I'd have to ask. I'd have to go and ask the question.
Yeah. But again, this could be something that's employment linked. We don't know. We don't have those details. But no, it certainly, she shouldn't be changing the way she does things, giving him some spending money and saving the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep doing that, and tell your boyfriend to do one.
Just tell him to get on his bike and fuck off. Genuinely, that's where I'd be with that. If someone did that to me, I'd be like, no, get out.
Yeah.
You know, you're not playing that game.
Yeah.
I'm interested in some of the things that some people are saying. I've got a big red flag, very big and red. OP, your fiance wants to steal from a teenager the money available to him because of his dead father. Do you want your son to go to NC? Because this is how you get a son that goes NC. I don't know what NC means. Yeah, this is very low base behavior, like lower than well digger's heel. Yeah, okay. This man is knee high to a grasshopper. Yeah, basically everyone's with this person. Someone's written a very long reply. This will be interesting. I'm going to read this one real quick, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Okay.
This is the kind of guy who you know is bitching about how his ex and her new family are living high on the hog off the child support that he pays, and therefore sees the money meant for this kid's support to do with as he pleases, because he thinks that his ex does with the money he pays for his kids. And maybe she's doing that, but that's not what needs to be going on here. That's a good point, actually, yeah, because he's probably paying child support for the other two kids that don't live with him.
Yeah.
That's actually quite a fair assumption. I never understand what people see in trying to turn an on-again, off-again relationship into a permanent relationship anyway. I've never heard of one working out. There's a reason the couple is not able to keep the relationship together when it's on one level, and then they want to increase the level. It's not going to work. I hope OP tells a boyfriend that she's been thinking and that they need to wait to move in together until her son is off to college. Yep, I agree with that. Don't even mention the money. Just talk about how you don't want to disturb anything in his life. Blah blah blah. It actually says there blah 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 blah. By the way, that's not me saying it. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. It's a critical time, you know. Blah blah blah. His reaction will speak massive volumes as to his real motives. And yes, for any parents reading this who may be in a similar situation someday or currently are but not yet dating ? Do you ever, under any circumstances at all, tell your partner what kind of money your child gets, even if they assume that they could be getting survivor benefits or whatever? Just say that other parent had it set up in some way where it goes through their grandparents or something, or that it wasn't set up that way, or they weren't eligible for some reason. I don't know. But don't tell them anything about your child's finances. They do not have any right to know. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you withholding that information. Or yeah, fine, I'll call it out for what it is. Straight up lying about it because they have no right to even be asking for that information to begin with. And there is nothing wrong with protecting your peace by lying in response to inappropriate questions. I could get behind that. Yeah, if I was in that situation, someone said, but again, how would that even come up in a conversation? If you're with somebody and they go, "Does your child get any money?"
Yeah.
What would you do if like, and somebody said to you, "Does your son receive any kind of benefits?" Well, I mean, I'd hope the answer is no, whether it's the truth or not. But no, they don't.
I don't feel like I would be having that conversation with anybody.
Exactly, but it's like, how does that even come up? What a weird thing. But yeah, anyway. And for anyone reading this who may be dating someone who has a child with a dead parent now or in the future, the money that child may receive from their dead parent / as a result of their parent being dead is not your fucking piggy bank, and no, you don't get any of it. And I don't care if the kids' dollars are supposed to be contributing to keeping a roof over their head. That is for the remaining parent to pay and contribute, not them personally. Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. Their parent can distribute the financing as they see fit, not how you and your greedy ass sees fit. And no, it does not mean under any sort of circumstances whatsoever that the parent of that child should be paying a larger share. You all still get to contribute equally because you are the adults and you are who's paying, and you're who's paying it. And finally, people, let's be real here. If you are dating some motherfucker like this, DTMFA, ditch that motherfucker something. Motherfucking arsehole. Ditch that motherfucking arsehole. I think that's what that means. This is not a nice person, and they will not be a nice person even when the kid is gone and the source of turning them into some warped Smeedle is removed. The kid are the kind of arsehole that thinks they can they are entitled to the funding your child gets from their deceased parent, especially when y'all aren't even married yet. Says everything you need to know about their character. Basically, basically just agreeing with everything that we said. Yeah, that guy is an arsehole and needs to fuck off.
Yeah. Also, more to the point, even if it was even if it was more money, right, let's say, for example, that kid had a bit of a sideline as a content creator on YouTube and was doing really well and making lots of money. Okay, maybe they might contribute a bit and they might pay, even if it's like the market rate for renting a room in a house.
Yeah,
something like that. There should be no expectation of sharing it around because they are a child.
Yep, exactly.
And that is there for their future.
And that's it. This benefit is for that kid's future. Yeah. And the fact that the mum, decides that he gets half of it every month, but then the other half goes into savings, fine. And that's then up to that kid what he wants to do with that $550 every month. Yeah. And again, if he offered it and just went, well, look, I'm living here and I've got some money coming in. How's about I spot you a couple of hundred, for my food, or whatever. Fine. You then go, you welcome it with open arms. And you go, thank you very much. That's, really generous, but you don't, just so you know, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And make it their choice. But yeah, you should never demand that. And the fact that this guy is demanding over half of the check to go towards the household, no, he's a fucking money grabbing arsehole.
Yeah.
But I reckon it's probably because he's paying child support for his other two kids. And it is not cheap. It's like, I can't remember what the percentage is, but it's quite high. Per child of his. So if he's, let's say this guy's only earning, $1,000 a week, as a random arbitrary number that I've picked out of the air, he's probably paying 250 of that per child in child support. He's actually only coming out with 500 a week, and now he's going, oh well, there's an opportunity there to get another $600 a month, tax free. Because that's the other bit of it as well. Is everything is taxed.
Yeah.
So anyway,
life is taxed.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. On a lighter note, shall we have our cat of the week?
Cat of the week.
Meow meow.
Meow meow.
Right, somebody that hasn't appeared as cat of the week before now, which is strange because they're quite a little bit famous as a cat, is Larry. Larry the cat, for those people that don't know, Larry the cat is a a smart-looking tabby, and he's the chief mouser at 10 Downing Street.
Ah.
And somebody said, drop a like if you think Larry the cat is the best thing in Downing Street.
It probably is. It probably is.
Yeah.
I question though how much mousing actually happens.
Well, I'm sure that these are old buildings, and I'm sure mice can find their way in.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's Larry the cat, often seen in the news.
Okay.
Just in the background, walking about.
Just walking around. Yep.
Yeah.
He's a
So,
smart-looking cat though.
Larry the cat, the cat of the week. He is not the only cat though.
Yeah.
10 Downing Street.
Wait, it did say
He
chief
is.
mouser, which might suggest there are other mousers. Yeah.
Well, no, actually. But Keir Starmer's got a cat.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he got a cat when he moved, well, shortly after moving in to 10 Downing Street. I don't know whether it was, look, I've got a cat, so I can't be that bad move.
Maybe. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. So,
And actually, I thought you were going to say, well, Keir Starmer, he's a pussy. So.
but it's funny you should make jokes about Keir Starmer, because this one was on X, and then I found another one on X, and this is his other cat.
I love it.
And for those people just listening, it's Keir Starmer saying, well, at least the cat likes me, and the cat is saying something to the contrary.
Yep. The cat's dropping a C-bomb.
Yeah, he's calling him a bit of a contrary.
Yeah.
Bit of a cunt.
Well, Keir Starmer is head of the country.
And that's very true.
Take that, YouTube subtitles.
So there we go. That was my cat of the week, and I think honorary mention for the little white cat for putting up with his having to have a proximity. He doesn't look happy though, does he?
So that cat does not look happy.
No,
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, that's not a natural pose for that cat.
No,
it's been put there.
Wow.
But there we go. That was my cat of the week.
Cat of the week. Meow meow.
Cat of the week.
Cats of the week.
Cat of the week.
Mm.
Do you know what I was thinking about? And the answer cannot be bacon, because that's just too obvious. But what I want to talk about is a thing that we call guilty pleasures. So apparently we've all got them. Little things that we secretly love but probably shouldn't shout about in public, you know. The sort of thing like eating cold pizza straight from the fridge, binge watching something, some trashy TV show, something perhaps you wouldn't necessarily admit to, or maybe it's singing loudly in the car, or something that you're listening to that wouldn't be that popular maybe. It's usually something harmless. So your guilty pleasure can't be killing prostitutes.
So my guilty pleasure is mass suicide, or sorry, mass murder. I was going to say mass suicide. Then no, mass murder is
That's suicide.
Yeah.
It's a one-time guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are all things that we don't want people to know necessarily. But I'd be interesting to put that out and see if we get anything in chat or in comments. What are your guilty pleasures? I thought it might be worth sort of prompting this with a few sort of ideas of what could be a guilty pleasure. So, like, it could be food. So, or food or drink for that matter. It might be a spoonful of Nutella or peanut butter as you walk past in the kitchen, or every time you go to the kitchen. or in the living room or everywhere, or
Yeah.
just walk around with it in the street.
There is a TV show on Apple TV Plus called Ted Lasso. And there's a bit in there where he says he has an open jar of peanut butter on the counter all the time, so as he walks past, he can just dip his finger in and have a finger of peanut butter.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, there you go. So it might be just an occasional sort of fingering in the kitchen. It could be entertainment. What are you binge watching that's really just trash?
Do you have any guilty pleasures, Ted?
Well, this is what I'm trying to think of, and I tell you what. Let's go with entertainment guilty pleasures. I do tend to have at least one thing that I'm binge watching, and usually it's something that's been around for absolutely ages, and I'm only just getting around to it. I wouldn't necessarily shout about it, but yeah. I mean, what was the thing that I tell you what I was watching? Again, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but I was watching Soldier from start to finish, not so long ago. But again, I don't really like what do you call it? I don't really like things that could be guilty pleasures, like reality TV, Love Island, Married at First Sight, things like that. If they're on, they're on. But it's not something that I set out to. I don't even set out to watch. I very rarely put the TV on myself. Yeah. It could be the same film that you watch time and time again. I know you like Love Actually, but is it something you'd watch a lot and think of being a guilty pleasure?
So it's really weird. Like, just that phrase "guilty pleasure" is almost like, oh, if I admit to that, I'm going to feel guilty about it, or I feel like people are going to judge me about it. I've got to be honest. In recent years, I've just become unapologetically me. I don't care what anybody else thinks, and I can't put my finger on and say there's one thing that I would say is a guilty pleasure. So, and I'll give you some examples of what probably could be classed as guilty pleasures, but I don't see them that way. So, Tesco, other supermarkets are available. Tesco do a chocolate spread. It's called chocolate pretzel spread. Right, and it's chocolate spread with bits of pretzel in it, and I think it's got crushed almonds in there as well. I buy 2 or 3 jars of that every month, and I will happily just sit on the sofa with a teaspoon and a jar of that stuff. It is so freaking good that I don't care if my foot falls off because of it. Because I really, really like it. It was like a surprising find. I was like, I'm going to give this a try and just see what it's about. On some toast, and didn't really think much of it, but then I was feeling really lazy and a bit snacky and didn't want to make anything, so I just grabbed a jar and a teaspoon and started going for it. And I discovered that actually I really, really like this stuff, just literally like that. And I'll eat it like a pot of yogurt. I don't care. I binge watch TV, so right now I'm binging Superstore on Disney Plus. Was on Netflix, it's now come over to Disney Plus, so now I get to watch that again. I actually find that quite an amusing show, because I imagine that's exactly what it's like to work in a Walmart in the US. Yeah. That probably could be a guilty pleasure because I'm binging that. I still love the Power Rangers, even though I've loved them from when I was a kid in 1993. I still quite enjoy it now. It's a bit cheesy and corny, but I still really enjoy it. I'm just me. That's the thing. People can ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer. Whether I think I should be ashamed of it or not, I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just not ashamed. I'm just me. I'm just being my true, genuine self. Yeah. Ask me anything that you think should be, I shouldn't admit to and should be a guilty pleasure. Go ahead. Anything.
I absolutely daren't. I absolutely daren't. But you know what? I am the same, because I just think I'm too old to be bothered.
Yeah, I don't care what people think about me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm nearly 40. That's the thing. I'll turn 40 next year, and I just don't give a shit.
No,
I really don't care. Like, if you don't like, if you judge me based on what I do in my spare time, as long it's nothing illegal is going on. Because yes, I would absolutely be judging people if they're doing illegal stuff. But if it's just innocent, if it's what you like, fine, go for it. I don't care.
Mm.
Genuinely don't care. And that's how I look at it. It's like, if you want to judge me, or it changes your view of me because you now know that I sit on the sofa periodically with a jar of chocolate pretzel spread from Tesco and a teaspoon, and it disappears in one sitting. Are we really friends? You know, and are you the kind of person that I want to be hanging around with? Probably not. You know, because I'm probably the kind of person that you don't want to hang around with. And you know what?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the fact that I like to sit on the sofa of a weekend and binge watch TV because that is me time and that's 100% what I want to do with my me time, then fine. I don't care. You know, I'm not going to feel guilty about anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but
No, you're right.
But if we're going to go down that path of, well, it should be a guilty pleasure, then chocolate pretzel spread, binge watching TV, you know, sitting around playing games till 2 o'clock in the morning and beyond.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, I feel like I make up for a lot of that with the fact that I feel like I work very hard. I am studying in my spare time. You know, I want to get a degree. I'm doing a lot of things to improve my life, and I'm balancing that out with the things that should probably be guilty pleasures. Yeah, but that's just me. Sorry, I clearly have quite a strong feeling on guilty pleasures.
No, I mean, I think we're all the same in some regard. But like you say, it's just easier, you know, if you haven't got any hang-ups and you're willing to, you know, well, I don't care. I don't care if you know that, you know, one of the things I really like doing is sitting there with a massive bowl of spaghetti with just cheese and butter.
Exactly. I do that
Because
too.
it's fucking delicious.
Because it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that as well. You want to mix it up a little bit though, while you're, you know, sautéing your spaghetti with your butter and cheese. Just crack an egg in there as well and mix it up really quickly. Just gives it a little extra.
But I like it with the cheese on top after it's cooked. So it's
that's fine then, yeah.
melting so you get bits of cheese and the butter. Yeah,
Do that though. Yeah. So
yeah.
spaghetti, egg, butter. Yeah, so it's all mixed around, like you say, so the butter's melted through, and then grate your cheese on top. Cool. Yeah.
And anything like that, I'd quite happily devour for far too long in far too great a quantity for what's left of my rapidly shortening life because of it.
You definitely give me an idea of what to cook for dinner as soon as we're done here. So Mike.
Yeah, I'm getting very hungry now thinking about all of this. But no, I suppose the only other thing in terms of entertainment is the doom scrolling. I mean, I have difficulty getting to sleep, and I will sit there and watch crap on Twitter or X or whatever it may be for far too long. But there we go. This is getting the comments. Let us know what are your guilty pleasures, and the fact that you're willing to tell us it means that you're the sort of person that we would like.
So you're actually comfortable with it.
Bloody care.
Yeah, as long as you're comfortable with it, who cares?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Judge not,
go.
lest ye be judged yourself.
Indeed. Before we go,
Yep.
I noticed something whilst I was on Reddit, and I thought that's quite interesting. And I thought it was a quick one, and I thought we'll have a look at this because I didn't even read it, but I did read the headline, and I thought, what the hell could that possibly be? So at the very least, we'll find out what it was.
Yeah.
It is, am I the arsehole for purposely eating chicken? Now, this...
I'm going to say no just off the bat.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay, I, 18 female, was studying in the kitchen when my mum, who's 44, and female, believe it or not.
So I love how they have to specify the F for their mum.
Yeah, was cooking steak for lunch. She made this small comment of like, loosely translated, so sorry, it doesn't sound like something somebody would say word for word. Go study well and earn this steak as your prize. And I just joked back something like, again translated, oh, now I don't want to do it anymore because you told me to. which is just kind of a nod to those jokes like when your mum tells you to do something you're doing already, and that kind of ruins your motivation. I get that. You know, somebody
Yeah.
tells you to do something, you fucking, I'm doing it.
I'm already there. Go away.
Yeah. Now I'm going to down tools.
Yeah.
It's never going to get done. Anyway, it ruins your motivation. But either way, without the context, I feel like it was obvious I was joking with the way I said it. Anyway, after that, she goes, "Go call your dad. This steak isn't for you. Go heat up some leftover chicken." Oh. And at this point, I'm kind of question marks. But whatever. So I just do that. But also deep down, I kind of already thought she'd get more annoyed with me basically actually eating the chicken when she's already cooking the steak. Oh, I get it. So basically, she thinks she's going to get the steak anyway, but because he said, "Oh, right, the steak's not for you. You're eating chicken," she thought she'll eat the chicken.
No,
just to
I'll
be
go with the
totally
chicken then. Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I may be the arsehole, because I could have just stopped in a way, I suppose. She even got annoyed already as I was asking if the gravy container was microwavable. So maybe I should have just taken the hint there. Anyway, I continued heating it in the microwave, and I tried asking her what exactly was she mad about. She didn't reply, so I just sat down in the living room where she wasn't and ate my chicken while studying. So yeah, maybe I was being too petty or prideful, perhaps. Am I the arsehole? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but still, it's quite funny.
You told me to eat the chicken.
Yeah, she said eat the chicken, so I ate the chicken. Get over it.
Yeah, malicious compliance. That's what it's all about.
Malicious compliance. Oh, no, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I would like, again, this could be malicious compliance. You could say something we don't like, but I think we would both like to see plenty of comments down below. Tell us what your guilty pleasures are. Tell us what you think of what we've been looking at. And, you know, what's your favourite cat? Is Keir Starmer as the cat described? Get in the comments, let us know. And thank you for joining us yet again on this possibly live broadcast of the CJ and Ted show. You can, of course, be in the discussion by DMing me at Ted James Media, or you can DM the show. Or, in fact, you can email us at
tjandhead@thetuesdayshow.co.uk.
That's the one. Until next time, goodbye.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody. I'm going to say something really